Welcome to the Hellcase Cup number 7, where the Bulgarians are going to fight the Germans, including a certain Dane. On my own, you just might see only myself, but, well, there's someone else on my side, virtually speaking. It's Swanee, who you might know as the analyst of SK. First of all, Jan, we're having, right now, Inferno. We're having Windigo and alternate attacks. Is that going to be one of those easy 2-0s? Because Windigo right now, they're going on a good path to become an extremely good team right now.
Yeah, I think so, especially on Inferno. They have a good chance of taking the first map already and then go with a lot of momentum into the second map. So yeah, I think they have a pretty good chance of touring.
I mean, I talked to Ohio, who's the manager and the coach of the guys of Windigo, and he said, we lost actually most of our games against alternate attacks due to the reason that we're playing a bad Mirage. Then he said, we fixed Mirage a few days ago. And from my point of view, Windigo frag-wise is a stronger team. Windigo strats-wise is a bit of a stronger team. And they'll soon participate in the global challenge of the MDL either way. Last time, funny-wise, I thought as well alternate attacks will be actually kicked out of the tournament against aTTaX with Frozen and their actually insane performance potential. But it wasn't that way. Maybe we have that upset potential, but right now they're coming from a LAN tournament, maybe a little bit exhausted. Yeah,
and especially their Mirage looked really bad against Device. So I'm not sure if it will be enough against Windigo.
Yeah, if the viewers probably don't know 100%, but actually this weekend, or the weekend before more likely, there was a German championship going on where alternate attacks won the previous season, but actually got kicked out during the semi-finals. You have to say they played with a stand-in Mike S, because they were not allowed ESL rules, so on, so on. Now they're back with Kido, and I think one thing that has to be mentioned, even if alternate attacks are not delivering us the best performance, someone to always look out for is Cyruson, from my point of view.
Yeah, he also performed insane on in the German finals again. He had a sick 4v2 on train, so I'm pretty sure he will deliver again.
Yeah, I mean, in general, this guy always delivers. He's like one of those guys where you think he could go too big as they're losing their opera, but we're enough with that topic. People talk a lot about that and who's going to be the 5th edition and the best German team right now. Or maybe the best German team. We're about to go live, though, very soon. And if we're at the GoTV, we're having, well, 2 Bulgarians and 5. Well, it's actually one missing. It's ECFN, who's not on the server yet. To go real quickly through what is actually this entire cup is about, we're going for the standings. And interestingly enough, what I find kind of disappointing, and I think this is one of the teams where you might think that you like them, but they're not delivering. North Academy used to play here in the Hellcase Cup. They didn't go further, though, due to the reason that was back in the time when one left, they got A and G in, and so on, where one went to North, one went to aTTaX. Do you think in general that, still talking off topic, North Academy is like a very, very good talent boot camp where new individuals are coming up from Denmark?
Yeah, of course, their infrastructure is sick with the facilities in the stadium in Copenhagen. It's insane what they can offer for new players. But I'm pretty sure they disbanded and only have 2 players left.
I'm not quite sure, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter once.
Yeah, you're true. You're saying Borup and Aiko are the only 2 left.
Yeah, right. They are going to build a new team around them.
That's going to be very interesting because a lot of Danish talent is there to get ourselves into it. First of all, right now, what we just need to talk about, we're coming close to the stages, round of 16. And it is going to be afterwards 4 invited teams. And what some people don't know is that this entire Hellcase Cup is focused around something that is a crowdfunding kind of platform, right? So it basically works this way, that you have a dynamic prize pool, which means people buy cases. With those cases, they can get themselves some skins, and they also support the tournament. So right now they have like $51,000, which means the first place gets 40% off that $50,000. So Hellcase Cup, I think that's one of the most coolest format, and something we barely see in Counter-Strike, that crowdfunding kind of idea is something we barely see in CS, like we had it in the International at Dota, if I'm not totally wrong. They're still doing it there, and they don't do it International. Yeah, I think that would be something for the Major. I would buy stickers to support the prize pool, but you know how it is. With that being said, we're having 2 past 8s. And we're missing just a few more individuals. Alternate attacks all on the server. We're going to switch over it real quick because we're not want to waste any more time. We can talk about everything in-game as well. And there we're going to switch directly over. Inferno is going to be our first map from then on Mirage. You said it, aTTaX is kind of weak on it. And Windigo, their manager mentioned they have changed actually something with it. So I personally feel this could be one of those 2-0s, especially as Windigo is going very much in the right direction recently.
Yeah, I would agree with the 2-0.
Prediction set, and on my side, if you're wondering, is actually Swanee, who's the intelligent mind behind some of the plays of SK. And are you going to fly to Brazil, by the way?
Yes, I will.
Are you excited to fly to Brazil?
Yeah, it's gonna be hyped with all the local fans.
And that's definitely gonna be the case.
Yeah.
And then there's some German saying I'm part of the Brazilians, but they're still gonna hype you either way, I can imagine.
I hope so.
I guess so too. Alright, Inferno wants to start up in a second.
No.
And with that being said, we're about to start very soon in our best of 3 series where it all comes down. Who's gonna go further? And who's gonna, well, get kicked out of this tournament. If you are wondering, last time we had alternate attacks actually surprising us a little by taking out the lads of aTTaX. But on the other hand, I mean, in general, I think you said, we talked about it once, where you said it's a little bit like those Kinder Surprise thingies, where in every 7th game, alternate attacks is like 100% on point, and then there are like bad days and average days and really horrible days, but once they're like really on their level, the team of alternate attacks can perform quite well.
Yeah, if SDFN and K2 are on their level, they can definitely compete with tier 2 teams, but really unreliable, and it's not good if you are such a surprise. You can't rely on it. Yeah,
it's true. That's really a bit of an issue because, I mean, you want to play a consistent game. Alternate attacks can't deliver that, unfortunately. And we're seeing right now one guy is on the toilet. And even the console says don't start, so we're probably not starting for the moment. Gives you the kind of opportunity to be informed that, well, actually the Hellcase Cup financed by the Hellcase Cup cases, which you are actually allowed to buy to get yourself some nice, sick dollars out of it. I like that kind of idea, actually crowdfunding. It's, in my point of view, really one of the best things you can do, because I mean, you can even get skins out of it, so why not? Do you think, by the way, that in such a game, it relies very much that you have to like come back from like a LAN tournament, which we just had, like alternate attacks. On Sunday, it was, I think on Monday they were traveling back. The week before they were at Copenhagen Games. They boot camped a lot. Does this usually strengthen the team, or does it sometimes get you really to an exhausted point?
I'm pretty sure that it's more exhausting than it's helping them, especially because they pracked with Mike S before the finals. So they don't have a lot of prack with K2 now. And it's always annoying if you have to switch around players and their positioning, and you also call differently when you have a stand-in. So now Hunden has to change his calling again and has to find his groove with K2 when he just pracked with Mike S, which is definitely not helping at all. And then adding the factor that he just came from LAN, I'm not sure if it's really good for them. Yeah, and with that being said, the analyst on my side is Swanee, and people might be wondering, but you know, sometimes I'm rather having his intelligent kind of way than a good accent. And I mean, he's German, I'm German, we're fine both of it. I'm accepting his accent the way he is, and I'm 100% okay with that. But like, what do you, when you right now have like the 1 second to say, if there's like 3 golden rules as CT on Inferno, like what would it be for you? Definitely banana control is one. One is that you do not waste your equipment without getting information for it, which we saw a lot in the past games. That, for example, they just threw Molotovs down banana but didn't really go for information. And one more I would say is to not play too static, so don't just play 2 banana 3A all the time. You have to switch it up so you're unpredictable for the Ts, and just go for aggressive plays from time to time. Because if you just stay defensive, the Ts will get a lot of confidence and probably outplay you.
Yeah, and I mean, and we had it a few weeks ago when we casted Singularity in the IEM qualifiers. It was actually alternate attacks as well. They had a little bit of an issue with that banana control, if you remember. They were not 100% there. I think back then was also with TCN. It was right now at Big, but I mean, last time they didn't show us the best of the results, and talking about it right now, when we go into specific information about this certain map, Inferno, win-wise, win rate-wise, it is actually aTTaX playing this map 12 times in the past 3 months, and they've lost it 8 out of those 12 times, so 33.3% win rate. And then on the other hand, you have Windigo, who actually won this time twice as much as they've lost it. So, Stefan and Keto and chat. He's doing Okay, yeah. That's... Keep asking if that's emergency shit, and Spellin says yes, because Stefan asked if he's eating Nesquik again. Even the console must laugh about that.
Quite some time now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's a running gag with that Nesquik thingy.
They are pretty good friends, both of them. They also went out together at Cup playing games, so they probably have some insiders.
I don't know, it's been a while since I've been drinking some Nesquik, but it was actually a good childhood memory, always, those Nesquik thingies.
Yeah, if you can't handle milk, you probably can't.
True, but there's like lactose intolerant milk, just then making it work, but I mean, it's kind of rare in Bulgaria, I don't know. You never know, sometimes maybe Bulgaria is intolerant to people who are intolerant to lactose. So,
and sometimes you just want to drink it even though you don't have the right milk.
I think it doesn't even taste
better. I don't know.
I'm actually only drinking lactose, like that lactose intolerant milk, so I'm not even lactose intolerant, and it tastes better to me. Just as a little bit more sweetened, but either way, we're going into our game, starting up with the knife round. Windigo versus aTTaX in the best of 3 series, and head-to-head, Windigo as well as Alternate. Let's say it like this: 9 times, 9 maps, both of them have played against each other, and 6 out of 9 maps went in favor of Alternate. The last best of 3, though, those guys from Windigo took that home. And we're going to see if that will happen. Besides that, Inferno, the last time Windigo has played against Alternate was a 16-4. And the last best of 3, to just repeat myself, had the exact same map veto, Jan. It's the exact same map veto we had, like, let's see, like a month ago. On the 19th of March, both teams played the same maps in the same way with the same standard.
Yeah, it's often like this because most of the teams have 1 permaban and 1 pick that they usually always have, so 2 maps are most likely always to be the same.
Yeah, and with that being said, we're about to start up the pistol round as Windigo stays on the CT site. The classic Hefansen coming in from Keto, Ships, and Co. I think one of the Windigo guys invented that. I think it was Victor, but either way, finally we're at it, and finally we're going live as we see Spellin taking the classic utility plus kit play. Smoke and a kit is the best you can do. Moving over to the B site, and there's a 3-man cluster. Tries to take the banana control early on. Don't do so. Look for a second like Spellin might be interested in that. Very deep. Those guys from aTTaX are staying. Not major movement yet. So the clock is making tick-tock and no movement either way. Hunden tries to make some noise. Lurks around the A site to gain a little bit of attention. But Bubble is, well as Punisher, are not interested at all. Not falling for that kind of idea. And there they want to go. And that is going to be the A side dedication. Smoke from Hunden coming in. He just waits it out. He doesn't want to use his utility that early on. He really just want to wait this out. Let the bomb stay towards banana. The issue might occur if it's going to be Spellin or any one of them moving down banana. First of all, this is going to be a very smart split from aTTaX. They can't move through. And so Spellin with a smoke from behind tries to hold them up, tries to use that utility as early as possible. As he sees one coming in, Ships doesn't hit his shots yet, but they have to retreat. Nicely done by Spellin. Keto as well as ECFN find 2. And Spellin, who has no armor, by the way, finds himself a third. 2 more to go. Stefan and Keto who now need to do the job. Bubble Fitz finds himself Stefan Keto on his own. The newest edition of Alternate Attacks finds himself one and can't connect onto the second. 0 bullets. Knife denied. That was one hell of a setup there from Alternate Attacks, coming in from behind and even making that work.
And you could see that first I wanted to go for a B execute, but once Hunden spotted that nobody was mid, he just changed the strat to a B split because he knew they had no contact. But it was really good shots from ships.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even have armor.
Yeah,
that was like the most surprising thing. Either way, I think it was Spellin. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it was Spellin.
Free frags he done. And so Alternate Attacks back on the chain. Back on the short leaf as Windigo take control early on. Stefan might be interested in finding himself a deagle shot, but nothing coming in yet. As that is what Jen mentioned earlier on. Ships with the banana control. Deep he stands and close to wood with even a gap in that smoke. As it might help him out at that point of time. But still, Alternate Attack slowly towards the T-ramp. No movement coming in. No one from Windigo even daring. Hunden once more makes a lot of noise. It's a bit. I think if he continues to do it like this, it's a little bit of a predictable kind of lurk. That deep grenade. It hurts. Ships peaks. Can't find himself. Not too much there. He's finally starts up. The pistol can't do the job. And Victor gets himself a 4K. Well done. Alternate Attacks. Their slow kind of playstyle logically comes down to now buying themselves the aCTaX, but I'm not quite sure. Do you think Hunden's kind of lurk will be predictable at one point in time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be, but if he plays it smart and shows himself towards B once, and then again towards A and makes a double fake, so they will rotate towards A once they spot him there, and then instantly explode towards B, it can actually be a smart thing to do. But if he only plays it towards A, then of course it's going to be too predictable.
I think Hunden is especially known for being a very, very smart individual. Not the best fragger on the planet, but definitely a massive brain that is set there on his head, at least Counter-Strike-wise. And with that Counter-Strike-wise kind of knowledge, he might make it possible for his team to finally find something. Victor is close to getting himself a third, as he already shut down the banana aggression from Alternate Attacks in the beginning of this round. Staying back towards the Semens. And there Keto, who usually, by the way, is playing the lurk kind of role back on Cobblestone. He's right now trying himself towards the A site. He's going to find nothing at this point in time. And Alternate Attacks with ECFN and Cyrus on 129 HP, moving over to B. That bit of low HP. It's one of the individuals who's actually quite decent opera. The fake is not going to be sold to Windigo though. They're staying solid and stable back on the site. And they're forearmed, ready, and just holding it up until that last 30-second play is going to come in. Punisher with a perfect timing. Still, the players are moving through, and so Punisher got to react to it. Knows where Keto's coming from, finds himself the head. Only ECFN alive, who might get himself the shot onto Bubble, but gets denied. The nade won't do the difference, as it only gets 3 HP less onto ECFN. They got to do it together and coordinated well, because otherwise it might fall all down to a single German getting himself that certain round. ECFN wants to go for the smoke, hides himself in that, finds himself one, turns around with a nice kind of idea, but he has to look to his left. And there he finds himself Spellin, but not much more. Individual performance from ECFN seems quite on, but when 3 Bulgarians are pushing on you, you're running out of chances. We have the back and forth again, yeah. Once to the B side, once to the A side. It seems like Windigo are quite stable in their place and not so irritated early on.
But it's important that he took down 4 players, so now you can think about fasting a bit into the round instead of going for full eco. And also what I didn't like was that aTTaX had one person going through the smoke in Banana, which was Stefan, and they couldn't reflect him at all once the CTs pushed down Banana. And then Hunden jumped through the smoke to help him, but also died, and it was just very bad played by aTTaX.
Yeah, the coordination was someone on point. Ships getting himself 2. Third instantly coming in, and Stefan behind that smoke.
Yeah, but it is the same again, you see?
Yeah.
Jump through, and one is behind the smoke and one is lurking mid. Like, what do you want to accomplish with it when you're only on eco?
That's true.
You can't just split up.
I mean, Stefan gets himself at least one, but as the CTs are getting players through and through round by round, it doesn't hurt that economy at all. Victor on 9.9. I mean, Spell and Punisher and Co. still have a hell lot of dollars back in their wallets and bank accounts. So it's not much to worry about towards the Purple Owl. And now Cyrus on. It's the first round we're seeing him finally on the op. The question is, how is he going to utilize it? Because towards Banana, we usually see an early push coming in from Windigo either way. Like, even if it's an eco or some semi-buy from aTTaX, they've always tried to take an aggression. And so Cyrus tries his luck. Can't find an entry towards middle. Now he might try towards another position, but the entry off Windigo is logically very helpful for the Bulgarian team. And so, as time has been taken and the IGL been taken out, especially that, might be alternate attacks helping themselves out a little, with the Dane now calling as he's dead. But it's firepower missing, and that not just a bit, but massively. So UCFN works over the A site, tries to find himself an entry. But nothing can happen at that point in time, as they're not even daring to take any aggression. Bombs can retreat by Cyrus on, and it seems like all going down to A site. Windigo has placed free. Ships, Punisher, and Bubble. All just waiting for the Hunden crew to make the call and to do the push. It seems like they're kind of ready for it. At least with that Molotov, time is running out right now for alternate attacks. Flashbang as well, and the second one just coming in as well. Flashing every single individual. But it's not a fake. Ships and his team need to be 100% aware of that. The second Molotov coming in. And Cyrus on movement once more blocked. It is astonishing how late Windigo used their utility and then even make it work. Stefan taken out. Cyrus on needs to be found, but from the site, ECFN comes. And that was well coordinated, though it's a very late play. The retake will be hella tough with a Cyrus on the op. You might get yourself in a gnarly situation. A Spellin and now Victor try to sandwich that thing out. Spellin hiding himself in the corner with Victor, trying to check every single corner the opponents can come through. But Cyrus as he finds Spellin, time for Victor to go home, because that doesn't seem to be working out for him. Going over the balcony, trying to find any kind of exit frags, but the alternate attacks guys staying back on site, and there he wants to go for it. At least it tries to take down an AWP, but Cyrus's aware, finding himself a double. The first one coming in from the Germans. It's a very late round that can always backfire in my eyes.
What I think is very interesting is that once the CTs threw away all their first wave grenades, they go super defensive on site. You see on B, they play the second oranges setup all the time until now, and A long is always open, so if the coach realizes it, then they can contact up A long a lot and split towards B until they adapt, which could be very, very good. They play it again like this. They play very A short heavy.
Yeah, and I mean that's a little bit surprising, because in general you could say that Windigo actually has a decent amount of firepower. They're not really turned down just to have a tactical advantage. Frag-wise, the players are at least on the same level, even if not even better than the aTTaX boys. But first of all, holding themselves, as you've mentioned, back on site. It seems like Hunden and the crew are interested in moving definitely deep down B, as 5 players from the German roster are storming onto the B site silently for the moment. Smoke will pop, and then it will be a very hot box there on the side of B, with Victor and Spellin doing the job. As Victor sees nothing, tries to find himself anything. ECFN is hot, getting in the double. B side opened. And guns being saved by Windigo and Co. Seems like aTTaX found a way to finally coordinate themselves in the right direction to find themselves round over and over.
Windigo had the same setup once again, second oranges. I'm really not a big fan of it. Like I said at the start of the match, you can't play banana like this. You can't just give up everything. There's no way that you can stop a 5-on-2 rush. Just not possible, and they should really, really switch it up.
Yeah, and especially as with the utility they had. I mean, they were flashed back on the side. It was actually Spell and Victor not seeing a thing and don't using their grenades they had in their hands that wisely. And as Windigo will probably only face Hunden at that point in time. He makes the rush, he makes the push, and he can't find himself anyone. The IGL stays frackless at that point in time. 4-2. And after we had a 4-0 beginning, and now Windigo is on the brink, economically speaking, to get anything decent up and running. Victor and Spawn, are they not going to receive anything from their teammates?
They can buy next round then.
Yeah, true. Stick into that.
It's good like this.
And as you see, they're switching it up. They got themselves at least that one additional rifle back on the side. Offbeat with Punisher staying more car focused. And I like to see what Bubble's doing right here. Together with Ships, a coordinated aggression where he sees Keto and takes him down. Ships does the same. That was a great buddy system working out. And aTTaX already losing to having balcony and the stairs section secure. Logically gives you a lot of control. And with only 3 more life for aTTaX, this could work out quite easily and fairly well. Victor gets the information. The problem is, though, the M4 has fallen. Spellin still finds him. Stefan, as he already has shown us in the pistol round, that he's dealing a quite good bit of damage. He doesn't have any armor on himself. That retake's gonna be tough. Cyrus should be spotted. He's taken out. Only Hunden, as he's usually not that kind of fragging guy. Bubble finds himself the third. And with the great entry he has done towards the stairs apartment section in A, he's finishing off with another 2 and giving them the option to find themselves a 5th.
Exactly what I meant with do not be static. They went for a push towards A and it worked because they were not prepared at all. And then aTTaX was rushing up B, which was pretty obvious, and they could easily retake it, which was well played. I just hope they don't fall back in the same patterns now and play defensive again.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't want to be too predictable as a CT in that kind of situation with a team like aTTaX who have the one or other setup set. And just to remind the viewers, the last time, which was about a month ago, this team has faced Windigo in a best-of-3 series. It was actually aTTaX being humiliated 4-16. So far, it doesn't look like we're gonna have that much of a repetition of that, as you seem to get the idea. I mean, after a month, you can still try to analyze and go through it. Ships now finding himself the first. Victor might want to go for the refract, but Hunden is hot, and finding himself a double now allows the team to maybe go in the right direction. Spellin goes right, finds himself 1, rotates back, B site not taken. And $600 thrown in the smoke. Utility kinda wasted, not too much. So it's got to be down to just Punisher as well as Bubble. Positioning of Bubble is not the best. As 1 smoke might block his vision. That shot looked very close. A good Molotov, but it doesn't help Punisher to survive. And so Keto has a little bit of an advantage. ECFN back on side, and the Cyrus on planting the bomb. Retake's gonna be tough. Now they gotta organize themselves if they want to do so. Bubble basically assists Spellin in dying right here. Cyrus has already the idea. Yob's gonna retreat, and the third one's gonna be on the board for aTTaX, as they're getting themselves closer to the scoreline they have just achieved last time. And so it will be nothing else than a 5-2 going into a 5-3, and a CT economy actually being not shattered, but the growing potential is pretty much right now going downhill.
It's alright, they will probably fast now with the op saved. They can easily get a good buy now with Bubble dropping for Spellin. Yeah.
But don't you think those back and forths are getting to both of the teams?
Yeah, it's especially annoying on the CT side if you get in money trouble. I'm pretty sure they will play something aggressive with the up now and try to get an early pick, because this round is super important for both sides.
I mean, they made it work last time, that is the one thing, and I mean, with Bubble seemingly going aggressive towards middle for the moment, Flashbang's gonna pop. No, it's actually coordinate towards fake mid. The Ship's already taken out, Punisher finding the refract onto ECFN, and seemingly another one. 10 HP this man has left, but now Spellin Need to do it together with Victor, as the major aggression is already focused towards the side of B. Victor just dodging the bullets, Hunden getting taken out, so Cyrison gotta be it. A bomb in front of his feet, he's able to pick it up very soon. While whiffing his shot, down to Banana he goes. And that's gonna be one hell of a clutch in case Cyrison is really about to do this. Hard to imagine, I gotta say. That means only 2 guys back on the side of B. Victor as well as Spellin, both not having the AWP and the boost coming in. You can just clean it up angle by angle, bit by bit. There he finds the first. 4 HP he has left. Spellin just needs to hit the right time and can't stay defensive. Because the time is running out for Cyrison. He needs to drop that bomb and bring it back onto site. Now the reinforcements coming in form of Punisher as well as Bubble. Cyrison does this smart. If he gets himself on that A site, he has a quite easy victim in front of him. Only Punisher. The Glock can easily deal the damage it needs to. You should just wait it out. And Cyrison, he gotta be quick as hell to get that bomb planted. Makes a move back on site. Goes for the safe plant. No, it doesn't 100%. Punisher finds him. And just a bit more left or right. It would have been a plan, at least going in favor of Cyrison. But 6-3. And there we still have a quite decent terrorist economy. After that round, though, it should be pretty much down a drain in case it's not going to work out.
But I think that was really bad coordination once again by aTTaX. They went up Banana and Stefan went out first, then he died, then Hunden crossed the corner, died, and then Sierson was like, oh, where did you all go? So there was again no potential for a reflect because they all go solo again. They really have to work on their coordination, I think.
And talking about coordination, all coordinated first shots coming in. Punisher finds himself a double ECFN as well as Keto. And so it's going to be 2 players already out of the game. After 25 seconds, aTTaX losing firepower massively. It's Cyrison though. With that shot onto Victor, he made himself a statement. And he's becoming one hell of an individual. Spellin though doesn't stop. Cyrison to find. And a triple secured.
He's pushing through the smoke on his own again. Like, why? His mates are like, what the fuck is happening all of a sudden? His mates had to jump through the smoke and try to reflect him, but there was no way they could. They could have just waited it out. They had the 3-on-1. But instead, Hunden just goes crazy through the smoke.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because instead of like going as a cluster and 1 unit to instantly refrag, it was 1 by 1. Spellin had a quite easy game though, because the way it is, like the body of the certain individual going for the smoke appears first for the one outside of the smoke. That logically costs you a lot of nerfs, a lot of rounds, and Windigo are just about to get themselves the first half already secured. With round number 8 coming on the board shortly, if nothing goes wrong. As we see, Glocks are only in the hands of the aTTaX players. Bubble should have some easy shots right here. Whiffs the first. And I think they're not feeling comfortable once they're able to overrun you. He whiffs every single one. What is that aim from Bubble? He now can escape the situation. And in the end, still gets taken out. A free AWP. Keto finding himself a double. So it's all down to Punisher. As ECFN finds another. This is falling apart for Windigo. Unbelievable scenes. Only with Glocks they're starting. And usually, most of the time, aTTaX is not such a strong pistol team. Hunden is now spotted. Spellin wants to get himself onto 2. Victor needs to assist right here. And those scenes are unbelievable what we're having. They're falling apart. aTTaX picking the 4th in a scenario where Windigo should have never given it away. And that gives you a lot of boost. Makes your morale go up.
Just use your USP. I always go for the op shots if you realize that they're coming so close.
And I think Punisher, he got a double towards Library, if I'm not totally wrong, so they had a major man advantage, and only Glocks, but suddenly it all fell apart. And that, as you see, it hurts the economy. We see barely any utility, not a single kit, and Spellin down to just that ZZ. And that hurts. As a Windigo player, that hurts. As Victor now finds himself a white peek onto Saracen, who just has tunnel vision. No one there to refrag or assist him either. All the grenades on the belt of the alternate attacks players now need to be used to gain control off that side. A good flashbang and a good smoke coming in. Victor gets himself ECFN. ZZ from Spellin needs to do his job. Finds himself not much more than just a good bunch of hits. But M4 times 2. And as Punisher, Ships, as well as Bubble now need to do the job. It's going to be one hell of a tough situation. Easy shots onto Stefan. Keto should also be alright to take down. And Punisher, the deep molo is exactly what you need. Players are coming out as Honda now needs to move white. It's going to be all coming down to him. He finds himself that one. Punisher as well as Bubble now need to do the job. But the time is ticking away and not a single kid on any of those individuals. And Hunden even gets himself that one. Ships can secure the AWP. And another whiff. You don't want to lose that AWP. He keeps it. That is really not so strong anymore. Windigo look kind of shaky here, Jan.
Yeah, they also had very bad coordination with this retake. They had to communicate that ruins were smoked and that the CT player shouldn't be pushing once the smoke was still down. So they had an easy 1v3 against the Grand CT, and once he is down, there's no way you can retake with 2 players from ruins. And
I mean, that actually probably tilts you as a team. I mean, until a certain point where you get yourself back in it. Logically, there are like different approaches to it. You can always stay serious with the right IGL. I think you always feel motivated, but those 2 rounds that were given away were not necessarily to be given away, to say it like that. They easily could have gotten themselves half number 1 secured and probably be around a 9-4 or 9-3 kind of scoreline, but right now aTTaX, with that kind of buy on Windigo, it seems like they're blocking the double digits here for all the Bulgarians. They'll only have one very useful killing tool onto themselves, and that is that AWP.
But why is aTTaX focusing so hard on B when they hear the AWP and they know that they are low on money? They know that the AWP is on B, just instantly rush towards A when you know that they probably have USPs only.
And as you say it, exactly what they're doing. Pretty much hurt. What Swanee's saying right here, pushing onto the A site. All the utility now reigning at. Victor, Punisher, and the rest of the team might be able to find themselves a frac or another with those USPSs. First of all, Bubble tries to peek out, tries to find himself Keto, is able to do so. Can't find himself another. 2K coming in.
Oh no.
This is also weird. Bubble finding himself a third. And only the opposite life, the most uncomfortable weapon for such a scenario you want to have. And Bubble now burns away. Victor can stay defensively. He doesn't need to make a move. Not at all. Saracen needs to play towards him. Ships with the AWP should now get the call from Victor very soon. And he's back on site. Ships is silent though. He's not able to clutch it out right now. He's coming in close with the USP. Now the Optimal is still on fire. Ships knows where he is. He gets a single shot on him, but Saracen does it. The unfortunate round still in favor of aTTaX. 7-6. This is a roller coaster of emotion, Swanee.
They deserve to lose this round. How can you get so destroyed by USPSs? Oh my god.
I mean, we had it with Glocks already, if you remember, the other way around.
Yeah.
And then Bubble also delivered a few nice shots here and there. Unfortunate situation that there was no assistance from the teammate to find that AWP either way. 7-6 it is. Windigo close to seeing their opponents getting the tie. As now Bubble finds himself nearly as a victim of a few wallbangs. ECFN might be the first target off the Opera though. aTTaX, I mean, they don't 100% favor this map in total, but when they do, it's actually the T sites that they favor. So with that being said, right now on their favorable side, they're getting themselves a few rounds. It seems especially they're getting themselves a good buffer, but Ships is on fire! Oh my god, those last two shots were just too beautiful. And he could just ace that thing out with 12 HP, though. He tries to keep himself as passive as possible, not losing that gun. And that was beautiful to watch right there. I mean, what Grigory Grigorov just delivered us there was insane. Ships now falling, talking about him.
Stefan wins these.
Stefan, as you say, could technically win those. He has a bit of a disadvantage here. An op is a quite nice tool for it, but the bomb being in a totally wrong place as well as barely any time. And Windigo securing them finally that half with the possibility to level up to a 9-6 halftime, which is a quite good basis to get yourself a victory.
I think Windigo is always playing the same setup, and aTTaX isn't punishing it at all. They always have, I think it's Bubble and Punisher aggressive towards apps. I know Bubble and ships towards apps, and one guy anchoring from pit. So it's still, if they contact up along, Windigo has a lot of problems. So if teams watch their demos and play a little bit anti against them, I think they will struggle a lot.
The thing is, what I found so fascinating about all of this is the way that they still get themselves not killed most of the scenarios in a house. They find that, I think there were many scenarios where they actually found themselves those frags towards fake mid. Now Spella needs to react quickly because that flashbang doesn't help. Hunden finds himself only one frag, and Victor gets torn apart by an op, as well as the shots from Stefan going through his armor. So back to a 3 versus 4. And an 8-7 coming in very soon. Bubble gets himself 1. ECFN taken out of the game. Equalized situation, we're back at it. And Windigo, you have the right kind of setup as Punisher as well as ships are focusing back on the side of A. It would be a tough pill to swallow right now if the aTTaX found themselves actually a good way towards B to now be punished. And it could be Windigo who will prevail with what they have in hand. So they seemingly got disgruntled for a few moments in this first half, but now can finish it in their favor. And Punisher and ships, they're just waiting for finally that aggression to come. Stefan around the corner, and there is not the instant refrag coming in. Punisher not assisting his teammate too much, only down to Bubble. He just waits it out. 21 more seconds. And Keto standing wide in the open and finding himself that final frag. 7-8. And at one point in this game, Swanee, I actually expected, like, we're seeing double digits from Windigo quite surely.
It looked really bad for aTTaX in the beginning, but 7 rounds are definitely doable if they get a pistol here.
It's kind of worrying, though. I mean,
yeah,
when you have it like this, and your pistol round might backfire, and it's getting all very dramatic, but you have to see it like this, because what's right now happening here on Inferno, stats-wise saying, those guys from Windigo get on their favorable sites, whilst aTTaX have to go over to the side they're not that good at. In general, that could speak for itself, but this game has a lot of stories to tell. A very interesting setup coming in. Oh, and that house focus. Punishes Spellin as well as Punisher. Quiet instantly. An early rotation coming in. Keto calling it. And so they're moving back on the side of B, where now the bomb's going to be planted. And Victor might become lethal with his Glock. Can't connect onto anyone. Bubble having 2 flashbangs, not really assisting with that. Hoping to help ships. There the flashbang comes in, and that is a great tool to success. As at least finding themselves 2 frags is helpful right here. Going back towards Grill. All the player stabs are coming in there from construction. But Ships too slow he is, and Stefan finds Bubble as well. The defuse coming in. A plan to helping the wallets of Windigo. Giving aTTaX that certain buy. I really admire that play they have given us right there towards the A apartment section.
Yeah, but I'm not sure why ships just moved towards city. His mate had his cross, so he could just play off of his information if he just stays tucked in the corner and has his mate draw first contact. They probably win the round even. I'm not sure why he moved towards city there.
Probably try to actually get them from behind, but it doesn't always work that easy, as we have just experienced. So it's going to be aTTaX having a very favorable buy in that situation. And M4 times 2 and Stefan as well as ECFN. The last time we have seen this map was Windigo getting themselves 16-4, an easy win. Right now aTTaX have achieved already the double amount of rounds in that situation. That's now Stefan.
I don't like how passive they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, that could technically punish you, but the massive amount of firepower they have in... Yeah, all falling apart. They got themselves at least Keto. That's something nice to have with those Glocks, but... Either way...
Yeah. But ECFN also got really, really low. And if you get a lucky headshot there, and they have a blend again and a lot of money now. I'm really not a fan of playing so defensively when you know that they have Glocks only.
Yeah, but now it's gonna be at least those AKs. At least, well...
Yeah, of course.
Punisher going here onto full utility. He has to come down to... Well, just that certain Galil. And I mean, I'm kind of confused by all those plays we're having right now. I enjoy it a lot what alternate attacks is delivering us. I mean, especially what fascinates me, there are a few rounds where they have very certain and specific tactics, and they work a lot and really, really good. I mean, when you remember we had the early pistol round on CT where they got 4 players stationed. Probably some very accurate demo watching Hund and Miffer did there. Now Victor finds himself a double. This is insane what he's getting himself. It seems like ECFN could be that crucial player, and he does right now work it out. Stefan peaks in the right point of time. And the Windigo play suddenly falls apart. Stefan and Keto do it. And there you go. Double digits onto alternate attacks. Far away from a good buy-in here onto Windigo.
That's really, really bad from Spelln. He realized that the CT player on A box was fighting against his mate on A long, and Spelln was still just waiting at the box. He could have just faced him on site, but instead he just waited and gave Stefan a free kill. I'm not sure what he was doing there.
Debatable, I think is the right term, and talking about debatable, it's kind of debatable that this has been expected. Now Cyreson secures himself another. Spelln calls the pause already whilst he just died there. Victor, Punisher, and Bubble gotta play this out on their own. And there they just do it quite clinical. It seems like we have attack break actually. Not a technical pause. So Victor is the last minute with the P250. He might try, but as Windigo, what would you try to change here? Because aTTaX is showing quite great dominance and a variance in strategies as well. Like, what's the best kind of approach right here from Windigo to find the way to get yourself on any of those sides, crack it open, and be victorious?
I think what they did wasn't really wrong. They had Victor go contact and get some easy openings. I think they should just do the same and probably play one more round of contact, and aTTaX will not expect and execute afterwards. So if you throw for example, A smokes, I'm pretty sure they will over-rotate and you can just go and explore towards B afterwards. But I think the approach isn't too wrong. It was just that the play from Spelln really, really cost them the round in the last gun round. I'm really not sure what the comps were on this one, because if he instantly goes on site, he has the kill on the guy on the box, which was ECFN. And afterwards, STFN is alone in pit and he will get refragged. So I'm not sure. I think their approach is pretty decent, but just need better communication.
In the comms sometimes. I mean, we had a few rounds where... I mean, we all know it from our own experience in gaming and matchmaking, especially you probably know it from professional kind of gaming. It is that kind... It's very unfortunate. When you lose rounds you should have never lost, like we had in the first half for Windigo. And then you maybe get a little bit tilted, you talk a little bit less, you just get yourself in your own... You're falling in your own hole, which is not really that favorable and nice to have, but either way... I personally feel like that might be the cause of what you called that communication issue, but we never know either way. Earlier on throughout the game, before the game, I talked to Ohio and he said we're 100% feeling ready for this. It's going to be a tight one, and seems like we're going to have that right now. This is the pick of Windigo, by the way, and the last time aTTaX played Mirage against Windigo, which is going to be our second map, it was 16-11 for aTTaX, and I think Mirage is one of their big home soils.
Mirage is definitely their go-to map, but after their last showing against Device, I'm not too sure about it.
I mean, it's always a different thing, though, playing national leagues and playing international leagues. I think,
yeah,
like a lot of people say, and a lot of people from every scene say, when you play against a team from our own nation, it's a little bit something different than when you play online against a team from a different nation.
And definitely, especially because they are actually really good on it, and maybe they just had some issues with Mike S as a stand-in.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think we shouldn't be too worried about their Mirage, especially when they pick it again. They are probably pretty confident in it.
And being confident on Mirage is probably what you need. Is the ping of spelling wrong? That is okay. Maybe spelling...
Are they not boot camping anymore?
No, I don't think so, actually. Okay. They came home from Copenhagen. I think they did it before the Copenhagen games.
Okay.
But I think they don't do it anymore. I could be wrong. I would need to ask, but...
No, it's fine.
What I find so fascinating is the team of Avant-Garde, like those Kazakhstan guys, who are right now like boot camping every day. Like, that sounds weird, but there's not like... Usually you would expect that you live at home and then you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks boot camp and then you go back home again. For them, it's the exact other way around, because they're living basically all the time in a gaming house. They're doing nothing else than that, and then sometimes there are a few weeks where they're going home.
Really strange. I'm not sure how it can be healthy for team chemistry if you do it like this.
I actually asked Kicker from them, and he said that he's liking it a lot because everyone is feeling alright, everyone is feeling well. Sometimes they can only use 1 of 2 showers, because only one works at a time. I can tell you about that, but...
It's strange.
It's strange, I know, but it helps. I guess the thing is, if you don't get bored of each other and if you don't get, like, too fed up, you probably feel well about it, but...
Yeah, but it's a big risk, I think.
Yeah, it is a part... Like, how do you mean risk?
Because if it doesn't work out internally with your team,
that's true. I mean, if they
that's probably breaking apart.
Yeah, very good points. But as of what I heard of Kicker, so far they're quite happy. They got themselves a new player in, by the way, Remzik. But I think he's actually, if he explodes, he's going to be one hell of a insane opera. What I've seen from him so far, but. Either way, back at our game, and we're alive with the Hellcase Cup, where we're going to see how it will, in the end, go. With both of those teams, as Windigo has chosen to play this, and if in case Windigo is losing this certain round, it will be the 12th one for aTTaX. The wallets of Windigo will be quite slim. And it seems like the Germans will then go in the right direction to find the opponent's map pick. First of all, a lot of house control coming in from Spellen. Deep down they played. Cyrison is the right kind of player to focus on mid in the A kind of section. It sounds like exactly that. A smoke landing in front of his feet. So Ships is gonna come in first. ACFN finds himself one, and he's right now so much on fire. He gets himself to second with Victor, getting the man advantage now, but as fast as they are, they definitely want to go through as soon as possible. Now the ex-Berserk player, Keto, gotta do the job. If he plays it too aggressive, I have a bad feeling about it. Kind of attention is drawn to the other side, but Hunden's Molotov is getting Punisher. And there's the main focus coming. Bomb down, Spell on his own. This is not looking brilliant right now for Windigo, Jan.
No, it's really, really important that ECFN gets 2 kills right there because he was all on his own. I was really worried about the setup because he didn't have any support at all. If they kill him instantly, aTTaX is in big, big trouble, but luckily he gets 2 there.
Yeah, I mean, ACFN, I mean, it was actually one manager I have talked through from aTTaX. It was the ex-LOL team manager. It was Salt again is her name. I'm not quite sure. She said that, you know, those individuals of aTTaX, they're, you know, we all know that Stewie2K kind of guy who's very ballsy and kind of arrogant, but in a cool way. That's like the total opposite with that kind of team. They can fall in a deep hole, as far as I understood it. And ECFN, who's right now on fire, seems to feel extremely confident and doing pretty much the right job. Cyrus on finding Spellin, doing the right job as well. And back on the side, ECFN stands, finds himself Bubble as well. The flashbang assists so much in ECFN. You can't stop this man right now. 13-8, and Windigo still not on the right track to find their own map at that point in time. Stats-wise, check out ECFN, 25-14. I mean, that's kind of crazy. After just 22 rounds.
Lost. They look really, really lost. They have no idea what to do.
Like, shouldn't that be the perfect time to get a tech pause in to A, get a little bit of momentum out of the opponent's team, and B, find yourself successful in total? Take a look at ECFN again, by the way.
Oh, that was too greedy.
Yeah, but so much information they've got themselves now, Hunden. Can't utilize it, and Stefan got to stay super deaf on this. Finds himself not the second, unfortunately. And the speed made the difference right there, Jan. As now Windigo got themselves a bubble on the AWP. It makes it all more tricky, but do they save this? They do.
You have to.
I mean, they have the money, technically speaking.
But there's no way you can retake this.
That's kind of true, though. And round number 9 is going to be on Windigo. Finally, they're able to retrieve something again. After it all seemed kind of lost. Find themselves back into this game with round number 9. And it's kind of satisfying. It's kind of helpful, you could say, but the question is how much is going to aTTaX drop down from this? I mean, Cyrus on 11k, Hunden on 8k. Their money is looking decent. They got a few more rounds as a buffer left.
Yeah, but I'm not sure why he peeked mid 50 out there. Like, what was the reason? There was no way to refrag him. Hunden tried it, but he was so far away. Just no chance to refrag him, and I don't understand the mid peek. I think he was a bit too overconfident. I mean, confident plays are okay, but that was a little bit too much.
Yeah, I guess this is one of those moments where you get like scared for a second and never do it again.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, and talking about hopefully, Sarason finds that frag, hopefully, and does so. The Flames taking him down to 64 points of health, and if I see it correctly, he also damaged Chips. I think he got a collateral there.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's actually quite decent. Hunden's positioning might not be the best at that point in time if he does not perform in this second, but don't expect that situation. Spellin taken out by Hunden, another one coming in. Hunden not stopping there. And it seems like the economy of Windigo is not saying thanks for that. For the simple reason that there's pretty much an economic reset coming in due to that massive losing bonus. And you have to say, and 6 rounds in the wall, Windigo won on the CT side, where they're technically a good bunch worse. And not just a bit, not like just by 1% point or so. To be very, very accurate to the viewers, it is actually around 14% better this team of aTTaX can perform on a T site. While it's the other way around, Windigo performs also a good bunch better on the T sites. It's a little bit weird, it's a little bit awkward, and either way, it's gonna be a Ships saving what he has in his hands.
Really want to see them go for at least one execute in this half. Again, this was only just a flash out apartment. What do you expect to happen? Like, it's not gonna work maybe once or twice, but it's really, really bad from them. I think looks like they're pretty tilted at this point.
Yeah, but in a game like this, you can't be just tilted, especially as that Hellcase Cup offers you and the entire team a quiet, big prize pool. I mean, you have to say it like this. Right now, $51,000 are in the prize pot, in the dynamic one, and I expect it to be around 60,000 to be there in the end, because it works like you buy cases at Hellcase and so on and so on. You support it actively, and that is how it goes with the crowdfunding. And then in the end, I mean, teams like aTTaX getting themselves 40%, around $24,000. Actually hella decent if you ask me.
A lot for tier 2 teams. Especially
for that. I mean, I think for tier 2 teams that's a quite decent price pool.
Yeah, that's really, really much.
As our next one, round of 8, is going to be an invite stage. 4 teams are going to be invited to those quarterfinals. From then on, we're going to see how that will go. But first of all, we'll see how round of 16 in this best of 3 series will go. aTTaX leading massively. Double op set up aggressively. Coming in from Spellum and Bubble, and that is kind of surprising if you ask me. Spellum is going full throttle. Directly wants to go aggressively into this, but Cyrison, he spots the barrel. And should be able to take down the $4,750 gun in a second. Take a look at the Malo. Cyrison knows. But Spellin is there to refrac. One player lost. Maybe that was once more a bit of overconfidence, Swanee has mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that was a little bit stupid as well, because where else is Spellin supposed to move when you Molotov him? He's obviously going to move to the other side to peek there, and I'm not sure what he expected.
I mean, he saw the barrel. There was no real reason to do so. He could have just actually went closer and maybe find himself that certain frac, but...
Yeah, he just walked in his angle,
yeah,
which was really surprising.
Stefan now, one of the few warriors back left on the side of A. Whilst Keto is actually doing a good job of getting himself information towards Banana. The bomb is moving over with the fake mid. 40 more seconds left for Windigo. And that's that. Bulgarian pick is right now not working. Windigo is losing another man. Hunden finds a double. Full flash coming in. And so it's going to be Hunden doing it together with Stefan. This is so well coordinated. And a 3K from Hunden and a 2K from Stefan secures the team of aTTaX number 15. Take a look at that buy from Victor and Kodoyan. This is far away from satisfying.
Yeah, it's really, really tilting me that I died with 3 smokes again. Like, again, it was just a contact play. Why not smoke pit? Why not smoke something and go there? It's just so annoying that they always go for their aim duels. And obviously you're not winning them if you lose 8 rounds in a row.
That's true.
Change something.
Well, Cyrison now going aggressive. He finds himself an entry. Rotates back. And it seems like at that point in time, Stefan and Hunden got a good punch of control. Bubble just will run through that smoke, trying to find himself a double. As he needs to take down ECFN as well as Keto, but a UMP versus an AWP, that should pretty much tell you about what's going to happen. Bubble goes in, ZZ in his hands. And if he clutches this, then he's a Bulgarian master. Keto whiffing his shot, ECFN coming around the corner, 69. And that's one hell of an incredible and surprising play we're just having right here. aTTaX picking actually the opponent's decision of a map. And we're going back on their home soil very soon. If you have to shortly summarize what happened there, How did Windigo give that one away? Remember, they were, I think, up 7-4 during the first half, and from then on, it went all downhill.
T-side was atrocious. There were no executes, no refrags. It was just, you go peek there. If you get an entry, nice. Then we'll just lose the round anyway, because we will go on the side and die to a crossfire because we don't use our smokes. So they really don't deserve to win this one.
That's an unfortunate situation. I mean, for Windigo especially, as they are right now on the right track to become one of the top 30 teams right now. They are in place number 30 in the international HLTV ranking. Either way, we're taking a little break. We'll just be right back with Mirage. On my side is Swanee. My name is Sesht, and we're going to see you in a second on our second map as well.